here, eMan, the vintage flipper, and I'm coming to you with a video. I want to show you the top 10 items that I sold in November. Before I get started, make sure you're following me. Check this out. This is I am the vintage flipper on Instagram. Check me out. Give me a follow. I will follow you back. All right. Um, let's see what else. Oh, and then of course, on this page, this is the YouTube channel, same name, the Vintage Flipper. Let's get those subscribers up. I just started. I disappeared for a bit, and then I'm back. Hopefully. So smash that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, so you know when I post. I'm gonna try to post a lot more and do videos like this, videos with tips and tricks. Yes, I do have some sourcing videos, some adventure videos that have been out. I have one today. It was pretty interesting when we put together. That should be going up for the next couple days. And I also do some chats with some fellow sellers. So let's get started. So I'm going to start with item number 10, the 10th most, or the 10th best. I had two books. They were pretty thick, as you can see here. Very nice. Paid $2.98 for them at the Salvation Army, and I had them listed for $62, but I took a best offer. And by the way, this is my spreadsheet that I use to keep track of everything. Some people laugh at me and say you're an analytics freak. Yep, a little bit. So let's find that item. Let's see. So here we go. Let's see. I had it in my inventory for 22 days. I track how long I had it in my inventory, when I listed it, and how long it took to sell from the day I listed it. So this one went 14 days. And if you look at the top 10 here, they all went within a month, which is good. And so you could see, and I track. I started $62, paid $2.98, cost of goods sold. So I took a best offer of $35. I wanted to move it, and I made a profit of $26.37. Not bad, for a quick flip, for a 2-week flip. Okay, next item. I was in my other local thrift store, and I had no clue what this was. I mean, I knew it was a rabbit hat, but I didn't know the brand. There weren't any comps on it, and it was in fairly good shape, and it took good photos. It was one size, you know what that means. So I had it listed for $49. I put it on sale for 15%, and it says it sold for $41. But let's go to the tape. It actually sold for 36. Whoops! I took a best offer of $31. And so this price is like everything I received with shipping, and I made a profit of $27. Let's move on. Next item. I love these vintage sweatshirts, Galt Sand. And here's what's interesting about this particular one. This is 1990s, early 1990s. And the material's real nice. The graphic wasn't really worn out. Look at this. It had Roy Ostrom. It had a name tag, and you could see that you can see it right here. I try to pull it off, and I'm like, I better not. I don't want to do damage. Started pulling off the thread, and I'm like, I'm just going to leave it as is. So, but you're getting a name tag with it because it's probably ironed on. So let me know if that happens to you, and what do you do when you see like a, it's altered, if you will, or it has like a name tag. Do you pull it off or do you leave it on? I left it on. So I had it listed originally for $54.99. And I took a best offer of, oh gosh, where is it? Let's see. It went. I held it for 36 days. It went 16 days after I listed it. I took a best offer for $35, and so I made a $28.99 with shipping. It was like $11 for shipping. All right, the next item you'll see here, I actually have a vintage tow truck. I'm not including that here because that was from my antique store. I rent space out, and so that sold there, and that was, it was still profitable, but it wasn't profitable. I want to keep this to online. This video is my top 10 online. All right, so the next item I have here is LL Bean shoes. These were Camp Mach 8 men's hand sewn boat shoes, and yeah, these were mint, never worn. I don't think these were ever taken. These never saw the light of day. These were beautiful, and so I paid $5. That was my cost of goods sold for those. And how much did I have it listed for? I had it listed for $65. I took 10% off, $58. And then somebody made me an offer, I believe. All these were offers. I took a best offer of $48. And so I made a profit of $35.02. And sorry, I keep going back and forth here. This is what I do all day. I listed it the day I brought it in, which was a good thing. 27 days. Took 27 days to flip that. Moving forward, it says Emmett Smith. That's not Emmett Smith. I have to update my spreadsheet. But the next item was actually, let's do that right now. Copy that. And paste there. What? I'm not going to worry about it right now. I never heard of these brands. I knew they were French, obviously. They were very rare. And they were very worn. You could see, I'm going to butcher it, Le Chameau, 1927. I thought they were cool. They're women's boots. You could see they're kind of distressed and worn. And what you see is what you get. And I had them for $50. When I saw the comps on them, I was like, ooh. So I paid $4 for them, and I started them at $50, and I sold them for $46 plus shipping. So my profit was $36.82 on those, and they sold pretty fast too. 4 days. 4 days. So I had them in my possession for 35 days. And it took me that long to list it, and then they went fast. More of the story: as soon as I bring it in, I gotta list it. I can't hold it in inventory. Same with this thing. This makes no sense. I held it for 4 days, but I sold it in 5. Something's wrong with my formula there. The next item is a Link Sys. I found this, and it was like brand new. It was never. I mean, it was opened. It was open box. But you can see everything's real nice there. Normally I stay away from routers, but this was a newer router, and the comps were pretty good, very good. In fact, I started this at $82. It says it sold for $69, but again, I took a best offer, most likely. And I took a best offer for $45, and I made a profit margin of $39.61. Take that all day long. If you notice, I also have like color codes here. So I'm shooting for $10 and above, which I call the green, right? But then once I go over $20, it's a little darker green. And then once I go over $40, I call it the gold. So, and then you can see like, all right, we got orange, not so good, right? Look at that. So let's see, where do we leave off? All right, we're in the gold now. So this was a Herbie Elf. I had this one for a bit, but I knew, I had it for 169 days. But I knew when I picked it up, I think I picked it up in June, and I was like, I paid $1 for it. I was like, oh yeah, it has the tags on it and everything, and I knew it was going to go around Christmas time. Now, the ones that, anything Rudolph, Bolo, anything Rudolph plush, go for it, man. Just, or growl, go for it. This one had its tags on it, and this was from CVS, and it was in 1999, and it was in great shape, as you can see by the pictures. So most of these that were listed were only 10 inches. I had one of the only 22-inch ones. So I listed it. I didn't have comps, so I went higher, and it paid off. I started off at $89, and yes, I took a best offer for. Oh, it sold for $80. Actually, I didn't take an offer. He bought it for the full price. And so I made. Oh, I know what happened. All right, so see that right there, shipping cost adjustment. I posted about this if you follow me on Instagram. And what happened was I was off by 2 inches. I think the box was like 24 by 12, but it was really 14. And it went from $10 to $24 extra on top because I measured wrong. So that was a major mistake. I still made $44, but I would have made $66 profit on this. So I lost $24. Because I didn't measure it correctly. I still would have had to pay it though. So that's the thing. It's not that I lost it. I would have had to pay that amount anyway because it was over 1 pound, and it was, remember, it's the size of the box. I would have tried, knowing what I know now, I would have tried to stuff it in a smaller box. I did put it in a bigger box, and I put cushions on it. My mistake. I should have Frankenboxed it. So that's if you can Frankenbox something and get it as small as possible, the post office charges you for the total girth. So let's go to item number 3. We're on the top 3 now. I lost count. Funny about this one was I didn't want this one, and the lady was pushing it on me. And she's like, "But look, it's brand new." And I'm like, "It's not. Clearly, it's not brand new. I mean, look at that. That's not brand new." And I put it back on the shelf. And then I'm like, "Oh, man, it's a Sears Craftsman, you dope." So I went back, and I'm like, and it has the box. So I took a look at it. And, even the handle was, like, all sticky. And, like, this was, like, really well-loved and used. You could see, like, it's kind of grindy. It's, like, grimy here. And I try to wash it up as much as I can, but it was just very sticky. So I listed it. Let me go back. I listed it for $70. It says it sold for $59, but let's see. Did I take a best offer? No. It went for $59.50 after I put it on sale. And I think this one went fast. 2 days. 2 days this one went. So I brought it in. I had it for 3 days on my shelf. 2 days I'm shipping it out. So I was very happy with that, especially when I hit my gold level. $49 profit on that one all day long. Now, this next one is like one of my favorites. As you know, or you may not know, I went to a flea market and that's my dog. Hey. So I went to a flea market and I got 4 of these real large, Sesame Street dolls. And this was Oscar the Grouch. And he was actually my 3rd one to go. Let me look at... Look at October's right here. I made $146 profit on Harry the Monster, and I made $159 profit on Grover. So I made out like big time. I paid $15. I paid $5 each. Okay, I'm sorry, $3.25 per doll. And so this one went for, drum roll, $60. I took a best offer. He was giving it to his kid. I had it listed for $107. I went down dramatically because I'm like, look, I made my money, and he made a good case. He wanted to give it to his kid. I'm like, all right, and he gave me good feedback. He was very, very kind. So I made an exception. Again, I feel like I scored big time on all those, on all 4 of those. So I still have one for sale. I have Snuffleupagus for sale still. I have them listed for like $125. And then finally, I did this one as an auction. I had a rare flamingo, and you can see it's kind of beat up. It's chipped. It has some scratches on there. But this sucker is rare. What makes it rare? This is Bugsy Siegel's place. Okay, Bugsy Siegel, yes, that Bugsy Siegel who was in the mob and also had a great influence on starting Las Vegas. So this is circa 1950s, and this was from the Flamingo. This is his place, and this is a roulette chip, number one. And so I did a 7-day auction for this, and it went for $94.77. So I ended up making, by the way, if you look at Dom, Primetime Treasure Hunters videos, we did a treasure war, or I forget what he called it, where it was like seller versus seller, and you bring 3 items to the table or 4 items to the table, and you kind of compete each round. Well, this is how I won. Not this particular chip, but I had like 40 of these chips. I just hit the jackpot. So I've been selling them one by one. I've been testing the watch. This is the second one I've sold. I've been testing them. I've been selling them individually. I do them as lots. I'm just testing them. They are beat up, I found out, but I should probably sell them as a whole collection. But I have so many of them. I'm not worried about it. But I started off at $29.99, and again, it went to 13 bids. It ended up selling for $94, and so my profit was $82.62. So that's my top 10 of what sold in November of 2019. I'm glad you stuck around. Hopefully, if you enjoyed this video, please comment below, smash the like button, subscribe, and let me know what else. If you have any questions about any of these items, hopefully I gave you some great ideas of what to source, of what's been selling for me. And, make sure, again, you hit me up on Instagram. Follow me and let's chat it up. As you can see, I'm pretty active. I like to do mostly, I do a lot of posts, but I do a lot of stories too. Let's see if there is one going on here. I think this was...
What's up, everyone? eMan here, Vintage Flipper.
So, oh yeah, this was the frame that I sold.
So yeah.
Anyway, give me a follow. All right. Thanks a lot. I won't take up any more of your time. Vintage Flipper out. Thanks a lot.